Here's part 4 of our conversation with Chicago lead singer Neil Donell. I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Street Music. Robert's voice, I could always tell. When I heard Robert's voice, I could tell it was him because he sounded different than the other guys. And they all did. They all had a distinct sound. Terry,
absolutely.
You could always tell when Terry was singing. And then, but Robert, I always had a special spot for him. You know, I really, really did. And one of my favorite vocalists, you know, in that band. But there, where you start.
He's smooth as silk, you know, and he's still, you know, we've been writing back and forth, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now, you know, as we move towards hopefully starting up in the summer. Boy, has he ever sounded good. You know, I worked on something, did all the background vocals for something that he wrote just last week. And man, he just sounds amazing right now. Really,
so there's a new Chicago album coming out?
There might be. I don't know if I can give too much away, but yeah, but stuff is, you know, they're definitely writing and stuff going on right now. So we've all got our fingers crossed, and everybody's continuing to be creative.
How's COVID affected you? I know the band obviously is grounded right now for a tour, but
yeah, well, I've been really fortunate. You know, I do a lot of vocal coaching, and I still do a lot of session work. You know, I was in the studio yesterday for 4 hours. Just before I spoke to you, I had a vocal session, coaching session, and I'm doing one right after this, by the way, with an autistic boy.
Really?
Yeah. I've been working with this he's 17, and he loves to sing, and I've been working with him for the last 8 or 9 months. And it's remarkable how his ability, all his speech, everything, there's no new neural pathways being connected through music with this young man. It's quite astonishing. His mother is blown away, as well as his speech pathologist and other people that he works with. So, you know, it's that power of music. So yeah, I've kept busy. You know, I've been lucky. You know, I've been gainfully employed. You know, and keeping my chops up, and I'm writing. You know, I'm going to be releasing a new solo project sometime this year, probably in the fall. So I've been writing and recording stuff for that as well. So it's been okay.
What was someone asked me to ask you? What was that first Chicago concert like for you when you were the guy?
Well, that very first one was actually a private show that we did. We had been rehearsing we rehearsed for a week in the studio recording. It was cool actually, because Chick Corea was right next to us. And so, yeah, that was a surreal experience in itself. But we spent about 5 or 6 days in the studio. And then the first thing we did was this private show up around San Diego. Yeah, it was, you know, it was a lot of sighing and, you know, massive amounts of adrenaline. And, you know, I remember it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of celebrities there. It was only an hour set, but the thing I remember most about it was Robert and I, you know, talking beforehand, and you know, we were still kind of getting to know each other at that point in time, and my friendship with him has really deepened over the last few years. You know, he's just a sweet, you know, very intelligent. You know, all of these guys, you know, he's got a huge heart, and I've just become he's one of my best friends now. Like, Robert's just I can't say enough about him. So that's the part I remember with that first gig, was the conversation, just kind of getting to know the guys more. But I remember spending some time with Robert before the show, and just so kind, you know.
What they say after, when you guys got off the stage, what was that like?
Oh, there was a lot of high fives and, you know, and welcome to the band kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to mention Walfredo. You know, Walfredo has also become that guy's a monster. He's just a monster, that guy. I mean, he's, you know, he was a great percussionist, and then he goes over and just becomes like, and I've worked with some pretty great drummers, you know, in the studio thing. And Wally's he's just an amalgam of all of those best attributes of those best drummers: time, feel, finesse, power, he's got it all, and he's just the nicest man in the world too, and he's come during that whole sort of dark period, some of those moments that were tough in the first year. Wally was the first guy that would come to my defense. He was just kind of going, he would jump in, and he just couldn't believe that people could be like that. And I said, well, it's the way it is. That's, I just got to say, like, every single guy in that band has become my brother. And I'm, everybody in the organization, I just can't say enough about them. They're some of the nicest and kindest people I've ever met. I mean, Peter Chiavarelli, the band's manager of 40 years, he called me the other night, a couple nights ago, just to say hi and see how I was doing. That's who these guys are.
Wow.
The people that you see on stage, these are like, when we're at these meet and greets and somebody comes in who has, some kind of a physical challenge, Robert and Jimmy are the first people beside them, and Lee to kneel beside them. And, the kindness and the heart of these people. I almost well up, just thinking about it.
We'll have more of our conversation with Chicago lead singer, the tenor in the band, Neil Donell, coming up in 3-4 days. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music.